How many articles were written on work-life balance? It was like 2.3 million. Guess what? There's no such thing as balance. Some of you are bringing work home with you to bed. You're sleeping with business. That's just wrong. It's like all colors wrong there. Like there's a no stop there. You're sleeping with business. And it took me hitting my head against the wall saying no. You know, once I reached that point where I said, enough, enough. When is it okay for you to say to yourself, enough? I am very honest on the stage or in an organization. I'm not afraid to show my vulnerabilities. I'm not afraid to share the stories that may not have been the highlights of my career, because there's a message behind it and there's growth behind it. It's where you just don't know who you are. Where you get home from work after working 9 hours, 10 hours, maybe a lunch break, maybe you ate a Twinkie in the car on the way home, or you shoved whatever you could to hold the tummy grumbles down, or you're living on caffeine. Then we come home and what do? How many of you have a cell phone? How many of you get email on your cell phone? How many of you look at your cell phone when you're at home? Yeah, get your hand. Oh, those of you that aren't raising your hands, I applaud you. I want to be like you. It's a good time. I have a good time speaking. It is a lot of fun because I'm real. I'm real. And I hear this time and time again. There's a connection with my audience. I want to go soak in a tub. And don't we all say that? We all have that fantasy. Yeah, you're like, oh, to soak in a tub, a glass of wine, a good romance book, candles lit throughout. It looks like a Sting video. Yeah, or Robert Downey Jr. serving me my wine. Okay, anyways, different talk, totally different talk.
I thought she was engaging. I thought she was fun. Sometimes you come and you sit down, it's a little stale. She was energetic, she was relatable. She didn't seem at all pretentious. There was no airs about her. She made me feel like I was talking or listening to a friend talk.
I went home and I sat on the floor and I cried and cried and cried and cried and cried for hours. I mean, my poor husband came home and he was just like, what is wrong? And I said, you know what, I don't know who I am. Have you ever sat down in the middle of the floor and just let yourself cry and figure out who you are? Some of you are starting to cry, don't cry.
I think Lauran is just amazing. She was thought-provoking, she was engaging, she was real, and no matter what walk of life you're in, and no matter what profession you are in, you could relate to her and the message she gave.
When I go in and I speak, I am feeding off what they need to hear. And I always preface it that you may not love me, but I guarantee a week from now you're gonna go, oh my, I got what she meant. We've got to realize that we need to be present and we need the harmony, or else you are going to be on your deathbed wishing you had more time to do the stuff that really mattered. And that could be, ladies, tomorrow. You have to work in the present and live in the present, because the present's not always going to be there. Wow, that was deep.
I thought it was excellent. I didn't know how she would follow up the first speaker, who was excellent, but I thought she was very entertaining, very centering. I thought it was incredible.
Right? It's the hardest thing to sit back and go, it's okay if I make mistakes as a mom, as long as I apologize to my kids when I do screw up. It's okay if I'm not the best leader, as long as I grow from that. I give myself permission to live my life as me. I do get goosebumps from speaking. I get goosebumps from teaching. I get goosebumps from speaking. There's something magical about sharing my stories and my struggles. They need to not feel alone. They need to know that there's somebody there that's been where they are. That's why I speak.